Okay, third and final video for our two-step equations and inequalities. Just a few things that I want to remind you of. Okay, I want to remind you that when you last step, okay, when you multiply or divide by negative number, okay, flip the inequality. Okay, flipped inequality. Okay, also, please do not forget that what you've got to do is you have to bring the negative sign with you whenever it's being used. Okay, look in front of the value to determine positive or negative. Do not look behind it. Okay, here's what I mean by that. Okay, I want to give you a quick example. Okay, here's what I mean by this, and okay, give you a quick example. So if, for example, if I were to say negative 9 plus 3x is equal to, okay, negative 9 plus 3x is equal to, give me a moment to figure that one out. How about, let's say 12. Okay, so when you're looking at this example, okay, if you need to draw our balance line there. Okay, so I'm going to add 9. This is not as really as bad as it can be sometimes, and I'll show you another example. So you're adding 9, gives me a 0. You're going to add 9 over here, gives me 21. Bring this down, 3x equal 21, divide by 3. X is equal to 7. Okay, that is one example. All right, now here, this is the, excuse me, golly. This is the next one I want to show you. What if it were to say, okay, 4 minus, 4 minus 2x equal to 8. Some of you, this is what I mean by don't look behind the number. On the left side, okay, on the left side, we had the negative sign was in front of the 9. But on the right side, look, the negative sign is behind it. The subtraction is behind it. Some people, sometimes I've seen what you want to do is you look at it and say, oh, that's a subtraction. Okay, so that means I need to add 4 here. No, that's not correct. That is not correct. Okay, in front of this 4, there is nothing, which means it has to be an addition. So that's an addition. Do not look behind it. So you're going to subtract 4. The inverse is subtracting 4. Gives me a 0. Okay, subtract 4 over here. Gives me a 4. Okay, I'm going to bring this down. Do not forget to bring down that negative. So I've got a negative 2x equal 4. Okay, so divide by negative 2. X would give me negative 2. Okay. Any questions? All right. So this is the last video, but I want to show you what you can use, this cheat sheet, if you will. Okay. So I'm giving you this opportunity to look at this one as well. And so if you'll take a look at it, you will see that many of the things we went through. All right, and so we talked about graphing them. I did not do any graphing because I know that I'm comfortable that you know how to graph those. Because remember, well, I'll show you real quick. So when you're graphing an inequality, okay, remember that if you darken in or shade in the circle, that means the value is included. But then if you do not darken it in, that means it's not included. Okay, I know y'all remember plotting those. Okay, you should see those sometimes. Okay, And then right here, this is the vocabulary for all the inequalities, because you're going to see word problems. And remember, I told you there's keywords and phrases that we use, and these are some of the ones you're using for inequalities. Okay? All right. Now, there's some how to write some different inequalities. Okay, down below, that just gives you a few examples. All right, that just gives you some examples. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to one page, and I'm gonna do a quick graphing, and we should be done. Okay, so you already you have this page part of your documentation. Okay, let's go over to the inequalities page. So let's plot each one of these real quick, and we'll do them very quickly. Okay, so if I've got I'm gonna plot my number line 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It says it's greater than 4. If it's greater than 4, okay, so that means it's going to be opening up to the right. So it's greater than 4, which means it's going to look like that. Okay, remember, it's does not include, it says greater than 4, more than 4. So that's how you would graph that one. Okay, now let's go over to the example 2. It says it's less than or equal to 10. Where can I graph this one? How about let's graph it on... I'm going to zoom in. Y'all should be able to zoom in on your own paper, right? Less than or equal to 10. Okay, so I'm going to say 0, 2, 4, 6. That's terrible. Like Mr. Gerald. Yeah, I know. Sorry, y'all. Okay, there's a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Less than or equal to 10. Okay, so what that means is that I have to include it, which is circle it in, close it in, less than or equal to 10. Okay, that's the difference. All right, and that's why I always talk to you about using it verbally, is to speak starting with the variable. That helps you to graph it as well. All right, so let's go down and take a look at the example 3. X is, and actually 3 and 4 are the same if you remember. Okay, X is greater than or equal to -6. Okay, greater than or equal to -6. Let's do our purple again. So this is 0, -2, -4, -6. If it's greater than or equal to -6, there's my -6 colored in because it's greater, or it's greater than or equal to. So then you're going to go greater than or equal to -6. That's why I recommend that you always put your always speak using the variable, because even if it's written this way, it still is X is greater than or equal to -6. Okay, those are some 3 examples for graphing. Okay, that should get you through. I know most of you did really well on these 2-step equations and inequalities. If you have questions, the easiest and quickest way to get in touch with me is via Remind. You can email me or shoot me a message on Classroom if you need to, but Remind is the best and quickest way. Let me know if you got any problems. Thanks, y'all.